All right, welcome home, Bitcoin and NASDAQ truth seekers. Getting started this morning. The market's not quite open. We've got about 4 minutes. We'll take a look at stuff while we get going. So BitcoinDailyView.com got links to most of the stuff there that we are using and talking about. FinBiz is not cranked up yet because the market isn't open. Last 24 hours, 10 billion in trading volume for Bitcoin, down 18%. So we had definitely a push yesterday. I guess it's beginning to plateau. All right, looking at longs and shorts for Bitcoin on the order books, we're not seeing, seeing a little bit of sell pressure, but we're not seeing a real battle between the whales for longs and shorts this morning. But we are following a nice, beautiful trend the last good number of hours towards the upside. We'll take a look at that a little bit closer. 58% long, 41% short for Bitcoin on as far as longs and shorts on Binance, where the big money is. So a slight long bias this morning, continuing even as Bitcoin trends up. Top 20 exchanges are still in the green and beginning to trend up overall, looking at their 7-day graph. So spot trading is definitely on the way up. Looking at Bitcoin, the top 100, Bitcoin's up from yesterday, 57,243. And looking at the top 100, a lot of green, not as much as yesterday, but we're definitely not bouncing yet. So we may be hitting a plateau, but we're not at zero. We're definitely still moving up in the crypto world. And looking at Bitcoin, here, we've got, I'm looking at a daily chart for Bitcoin, and I did this fib sequence here. Let me actually just make a lot of space so we can see it. And I went way back to, basically about, November 2022. Thursday, the Thursday of November 22nd. November of 2022 is where I started the SIP sequence up to recent highs that we've had, in like around 70-some thousand. And if we look at this, the SIP sequence does kind of work. It looks like we're working on, this is just using the standard like blockchain education template. And we definitely on the daily are below the 200 moving average, the white one, but we're bouncing at the 314, the green one. It's very, very powerful. And we're doing a 382 bounce. Now, a .5 would be more powerful along with the 618, but still, we've pumped a lot. We've given a lot back. And some would say that this is a failed head and shoulders. And that would make sense, actually. It's like there's one shoulder, there's one head, there's the other shoulder, and it went towards the downside. But it is following, it's bouncing off with a wick, a very likely spot, which definitely has previous support and resistance, and it's in some stickiness to the fib level. So overall, in a daily chart, I think Bitcoin, it's got to keep going for a little while, but I think we might be seeing a nice reversal here. If we spread it out, you can see that a little bit more clearly. Let's go to a 4-hour chart here, and you can see that we do have this nice, beautiful trend going. Let me actually fire this up here. We have a nice uptrend going. We're still below the 200 moving average in the 314, but the squeeze, the directional index, all look great. We have a nice volume pump that definitely happened while we were dumping there. But in general, like we're seeing this nice uptrend. And I mean, it's a 4-hour chart. And if I wanted to zero in some and be a little bit creative with an upwards channel, I would hop on here. I would grab my my channel tool, parallel channel, and I'm being very creative, but I definitely can say that I think we're following an upwards channel. Let's see how it rolls. Bitcoin could definitely be starting a swing towards the uptrend, and we'll see. The world's crazy, markets are crazy. Let's see what Bitcoin does. Right now, I'm feeling more positive than negative, and Robert is here. And the market is just opening. So, Robert, what's happening in the NASDAQ world?
Well, I am in a trade right now, very slippery trade.
Woo.
And I just pulled out about 200. I got out too early. And of course, as things go, as soon as I get out of a trade that's hesitating, it just, goes up higher.
Oh, yeah.
So I went along, obviously. So other than that, not a whole lot. The market has been pretty wild as far as the price swings, the difference between bid and ask. And the liquidity has been thin. So
yeah, yesterday was
day. And now we have more war news coming out today. So
yeah, yesterday was definitely amazing day as far as volatility for the NASDAQ. That was some serious moves up and down now and then. And I'm looking at, yeah, a 5-minute chart here, and looking at the indicators in general, like the Trendillo is trending up. The RSI is looking pretty good. Squeeze indicator is looking pretty good. Easy entry exit is looking pretty good. But yeah, what's going to happen? Um, you know, it's getting a nice push this morning. Like right now, it is. How about like 2-minute candles? Let's see. What do we see there? Oh, it's getting above the last high. If it can keep moving, wow. I could see why you got in. But yeah, but now it's a little bit, I'm not too confident to hop in right now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it has basically broken out of it broke out of yesterday evening's high, and it had kind of formed a W pattern on the 45-minute, and then it broke out of that range, and it could easily go higher on the 45-minute, but on the really short time frames like 1 minute, 2 minute, and so forth, it's very overbought. So it's kind of coming down right now. It just tapped about just above 520, 18,520.
Oh,
So,
let me actually look at the NASDAQ. I'm sitting here looking at the wrong thing. Okay, the NASDAQ. All right, yeah.
yeah, I'll share my screen if
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, you share your screen.
Okay.
And I switched to a Lambo background because, that's what it's about. Or, maybe you might like an old Toyota Land Cruiser or a Lada, whatever a person likes.
Okay, there it is.
I myself would love to have a like early 70s Gremlin. That's what I would like.
I'd be happy with a Ferrari Daytona Spider kit car.
Oh yeah.
With a Chevy V8 in it, or maybe a 427 aluminum block.
There you go. Yeah, you can be a lot more creative than a Lambo. Lambo is almost like that's like a new money shabby. It's not. it's no real effort. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. So looking at the 2-minute, we're above the 5 and the 10 moving average. And let's see. Yeah, it's beginning to roll over there on the 1 minute. Well, like you mentioned before, it's like it, or like we've talked about before, where it is great to catch that explosion at market open, and sometimes you do, and that's a wonderful thing. But it's really that like 20 minutes after, or like even 30 minutes after, 25 minutes after, where oftentimes you find a more predictable direction. And especially if you have more time to, right now with working, I'm kind of limited. I kind of have to get my trades in between like open and 7, unless I'm going to leave it. And sometimes I do that. You have my stop loss and my take profit in, but the market open, like, wow, there's so much possibility of gains if you catch it the right way, but I swear it's 50-50. You need a little time.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I was going to mention about the NASDAQ is there's so much volatility the last 3 days, especially, that if you're going to trade early in the day or looking for trades to trade early in the day, you should probably trade the micro, the MNQ, because it's 1/10 of the volatility price-wise. Instead of being $5 a tick, it's 50 cents a tick. On a combine, you can, if you don't want to do 50 cents a tick, you can do 2 units or 3 units, and increase it that way. But what I did yesterday was I traded the micro up until about 8:30 or 9, I think, maybe until about 8 Pacific, and then I switched over to minis after that.
So the
MNQ is the micro version of NASDAQ.
I better add that one. MNQ. I see MNQ1.
Yeah, if you're looking at it on Trading View, it's MNQ1 exclamation point. This
Yeah.
one here.
There we go. Boom. Okay. We're looking at the 30-minute, kind of smooths things out a little bit. You can kind of see where we're getting a new, if I look at like this little trend here, just like, I'll just share this for just a sec.
Mm-hmm.
And just looking at the 30-minute, we can see, kind of starting to see a, I wouldn't call it a breakout, but we are getting above recent highs, and we're getting, above the last one. So anyway, 30-minute, that kind of smooths things out a little bit. And the, Trendilla looks good, stochastic looks good, squeeze is beginning to turn up. So, we're getting above the 5 and the 10 moving average, we're above the 75. So, if that broke out, if that, it's forming a new higher high. So we'll see what happens. And I'll know now back to you. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, geez. It's really going up now.
Boom. How this 5 minutes looking? Yeah, is it going to break out and make it happen today?
It might. I mean,
I don't know.
it's basically already broken out on the. I'm looking at MNQ. So it's basically already broken out on the 45-minute. So I do expect it to go up. We'll probably challenge this level up here at about 18,820. Which is previous support, which should now become resistance. So yeah, this is big, big time. So it does have all this downside to kind of try to make up for. So I do expect it to go up today. It could easily just explode. So.
Yeah, and how's that if I look at the order book here? Like, what am I seeing? I've kind of been liking 7 on the order book there, the size filled on Top Step. And 7 seems to be a magic number to me. Once they start hitting 7 or above, and I'm seeing, like right now, just a lot of longs coming in, 10, 7, 9, so you can see a little bit of, long pressure for sure.
Oh yeah, 10, 17 just got placed, all longs.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, good stuff.
See it now, it's rolling over.
Just when you think it's rolling over,
I
it's not
know.
rolling over.
Yeah,
It
so we'll
tries
see.
to roll over, and then they push the price up, and it's getting knocked around pretty hard. You're right, it is rolling over now. So what it could do is it could just, I'm only looking at 1 minute candles. What it could do is it could simply, go up and then retrace a bit, go higher, retrace a bit, go higher. It could just chop up to the upside for a while. Before it actually has to come down.
Ooh.
So yeah, that was a pretty strong open, but the question is, where do you really get in? I got in about a minute after New York Open or less, and all I did was just take a scalp. So.
Oh, and now you see the big sells, because the big sells coming in for like at 20 and 10 and 9. So definitely the now we're starting to see some of that that battle between the longs and the shorts. Looks like there's
on 1 minute you got 2 or 3 red candles coming down, and then you might have a few going up, and it's tough. You have to either trade micros, or you have to have a pretty good amount of padding in order to really get a trade on, because you will get underwater almost instantly after you whether you go short or long. You'll be underwater.
Yeah, yeah. Whew. Okay, starting to push up again. Let's see what
Yep.
happens. Um, let's see. And I wonder how. Let's see, so there is, looking at it on the 5 minute, I definitely kind of see a bit of a rollover on the 5 minute, but it's just a matter of what is it gonna do?
15-minute is still fairly bullish as far as the Trendillo and the stochastic is just rolling back up. There's a little bit of declining squeeze momentum on the 15-minute, but the MACD looks actually pretty good.
Yeah, and we definitely have, gotten above that previous high. So, I think we're looking pretty good. And I
Yeah,
kind
it
of,
does need to come down a bit now.
oh, yeah, there it comes.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's not going to come down.
What I see is it's probably going to consolidate a little lower and then possibly go up. I mean, that's what I see at this point, although anything is possible. One of the things I was thinking about is the more people kind of wake up in the United States and see the news, it could just
Oh, yeah.
this could be it for the upside for the day. I mean, who knows?
Oh,
Anything.
yeah. It's absolutely true. I mean, that's the thing. Market open is it's you get this beautiful volatility, but yeah, it takes it. I mean, I'm working on getting my like trading more covert so I can hit it during the day some where I'm uh, at the office. But but the thing is, these trades tend to be pretty quick. I'm not quite doing longs that are or shorts that are over much time, so
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to. But if I was trading with if I was watching the setup and I was trading with a take profit and a stop loss, I could just be like, dink, if I was certain. But I'm working on getting there because
You mean trade like a boss, right?
trade like a boss. I'm working on trading trading my way out of the day job. Just keep on working it, or not necessarily out of the day job, but just be making money along with that, so I can just rake in all the crazy money. That's one thing about being a trader where it's entrepreneurial. I mean, it's great. You can make your own hours to a certain extent, et cetera, et cetera. But if you can trade successfully and you have a day job that you don't mind, that's like awesome, because then you've got this just steady income that you can kind of depend on while you're a boss trader just going crazy.
Yeah, the
But
thing is about going crazy, that's kind of it's kind of different when you are actually getting close to being able to trade for a living. What
yes.
you have to do is you have to get rid of all those human emotions, all the impulses, and especially all the emotions that will make you overtrade. Um, you have to really choose wisely, because what I'm doing right now is if I see an opportunity, that I know is going to work out, or I'm reasonably sure, I'm going to probably scalp it.
Mm-hmm.
Although there's not many of those during the day where I'm 98% certain it's going to work out. The thing I'm looking for mostly are the big setups. And if I don't get in at the right time, I'm not going to get in, for the little bit longer term trades.
No, it
I
makes
missed one
sense.
yesterday at, let's see here, let me go back. So the trade of the day started actually just about 5 a.m. Pacific. That was the trade of the day. You could have stayed in that thing all day long and just basically let them close you out
Oh yeah.
at 1:10 p.m. The entry after New York Open was actually at, let's see here. Yeah, there was a really good entry. I'll just find it real quick here. a 1 minute candles, what they call a 3-bar reversal at, I believe, 6:30. Let's see here. That's yesterday afternoon. This is it right here. Excuse me. So 7:30 a.m. it starts bottoming out, and it's testing the 75 moving average on the 1 minute. It tests it 4 times, and then it goes up. This was the killer entry that would have made you could have stayed in the trade all day. Set a stop loss just a little bit below, where you got in.
Yeah.
But that was the entry. I saw it happening. I missed it, and then after that, it was just like trying to grab a few scalps, and that was the day. So big dump last night.
Yeah, big dump.
Actually, this started just before power hour. Big dump. So it started almost 1 hour before the market closed yesterday. And then when the market opened at 3 p.m. Pacific, what did it do here? We had a gap. So it opened lower at 3 p.m. Pacific, and then it basically just went up by just about 100 points, and then kind of chopped around. The liquidity was really bad last night. I mean, in the evening, they were pushing the price all over the place. There was very little volume. The liquidity was probably the worst I've ever seen, and it was just chopping. I mean, it would literally just shoot up in like a few seconds. And then it just went up. So, in fact, it went up pretty much all night. Not all night, until about just 20 minutes to 10 Pacific. Anyway.
Yeah, and then this morning, there's, I haven't been watching the news too closely, but I know that there's, lots of, global unrest, to put it lightly. I'm looking like, is there any, like looking at just the economy stuff. I was looking at just news that I noticed, like this morning, looking at Zero Hedge, was Airbnb shares plunge on slowing U.S. demand as consumer downturn worsens, and that's one of the things that I noticed from a lot of people. It's that people aren't spending money like they used to, like before, what was it, January or March 2019, over time. I mean, people who are broke or who have money, either way, they're just sort of, they're just going to work and having like a cheese sandwich that they take with them. And they're not, you can go away on the weekend with the kids, and you can spend $500, $1,000 easy, and so that's the thing, like Airbnb, which I don't know. I must admit, I'm not really a fan of Airbnb or what it does to communities and stuff like that. So I don't like it, just to be honest, but it's definitely having a hard time. And a lot of the people who were big Airbnbers, there's a lot of people getting wrecked out there. So it does. Are you seeing that the people are just, I mean, maybe you're not, but I'm seeing where people, whether they have money or not, they're just keeping it closer to their chest these days.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I watch social media, a little bit every day, and there's a lot of people talking about how, they just don't have enough money for basic needs, and too expensive to go out to restaurants, and they make a lot of food at home, try to eat cheap, which isn't exactly a good idea, because most food is already not really good for you at all, especially packaged food, prepackaged.
Yeah, that
poison.
Yeah, that's definitely, I know what we strive for is to eat, cheap, but there's just certain like requirements, which is like health you know, and so yeah, it's like um trying to like eat powerful, good, super healthy, life enhancing food, but on a budget. Trying to mm, just setting those little goals of maximum health for the minimum wealth, basically.
Yeah, well, this is the season in the United States for farmers markets, so you can always
Mm,
get good. People should eat a lot of greens, organic vegetables, organic fruits. Um, leave all the A peel, Bill Gates stuff behind, and don't buy it.
yes.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, don't buy from Mr. Gates' seed vault. you know?
Yeah.
um, um, well, looking at the market right now, all I'm seeing like above 7 are some are shorts right now. Um, come on, little thing. I think we got. Yeah, what's that market thinking today? I'm just looking for any crazy news that's like popping out at me this morning.
Well, the market is really choppy.
Yeah.
Um, there's just a lot of news today about um, Hamas named a mastermind Sinwar as leader, and Middle East crisis appointment of new Hamas leader. Iran-Israel conflict updates.
Yeah.
Turkey looks to join genocide lawsuit.
Yeah. What's that? Erdogan. He's the I guess leader. I'm not sure how their government works. Prime minister, leader, whatever it is of Turkey. I think that's yeah. He's quite the politician. He's like he plays like every side of the fence, but he's definitely not,
Erdogan.
yeah. But he's definitely not, pro. Um, I would say of course, it's like so many nations right now. And it's one of the things about like looking at the market is I think it's something that I'm just seeing is because I won't get into to the details of it, but just some of the things that I do. Not that it's like covert or top secret or anything, but just something I'm seeing in some of the other business I do, I guess you could say, is that along with the market instability is that a lot of nations are not necessarily pro-Western anymore. Like they go, well, the BRICS are where it's at, and so they're playing both sides of the fence, but they're really just waiting to hop over to the BRICS side and let the West disintegrate. That's kind of their mindset, and so a lot of international trade, etc., and is I would just say it's changing. It used to be like, oh, you wanted to do, business with the U.S. no matter what. This was where it's at, and now, big players in the BRIC nations, or nations that will be in the BRIC nations before long, um, are, you know, they're kind of like vultures. You know what I mean? They're not on our side. America has a remarkable low number of allies in this world at this time. So and wow, look at that on the 1 minute. I mean, we are seeing some serious carnage this morning. Woo!
Yeah, big sell-off.
Big sell-off. Yeah, this
Nothing
morning's
got
been
pumped
hard.
up. Yep.
Yeah, this morning's been hard to play.
Yeah, I mean, I took one little trade, got out pretty quick, real quick actually. That trade only lasted 39,
Woo!
13 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's enough. I'm out of here.
Mm.
But yeah, we had a big sell-off now, and it's trying to find its footing for possible more upside, but I don't think it's quite ready to go up yet. I think it's gonna. Short time frames might take over. 30-second possibly could take over and start driving this back up. Because if I'm right, I think it might actually be just about 50%. Oh, it's 618. So from New York
Oh,
Open.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to throw that fib in there. I mean, the 618 is a good place to bounce. I always feel, I know it's a lot to give back, but I always feel a lot better in the time frame that I'm looking at. A dot five is like good, but 618 is better than 786. If you can get down to there and make a bounce, like, the lower the better for me, at least. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the 236 or the 382, those are always weak ass bounces.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the harder you throw that ball down, like the further it's like if you ever had oh, where's that? Let me go grab it. Mm. Ah. Anybody ever had one of these when they were a kid, or still has one? A super pink. If anybody, oh, these were the best. The high bounce pinky. These were awesome, and I found one of these like in a general store, I think in Georgia a couple years ago, and I always wanted one. And then Universe lined it up, and I found one in a bin, and it was so great as a kid. You would like the harder you throw it, like at the ground, the higher it would bounce, and you try to always set new records. Like, back when kids used to go outside and do things,
Yeah.
we we'd see
Before phones. Right.
yeah, we'd see who could bounce the ball the highest, and that's kind of how I look at it. Like, dot, the dot 223 whatever, and the 382 weak bounces, dot 5, bam, that's a good one. 618, oh yeah, boom, 786, bam, you're getting your ball lost on the roof.
Yeah.
Well, I can definitely say that. Oh, this is along with that dump that we're seeing there. Let me share this for 1 sec. I'll share at the stage. This is something I was watching too. Bitcoin, it's a 15-minute chart, and I was just kind of watching what it's doing. And I know 15-minute charts are pretty small, time frame to be playing with, but still, that's what we do here. And it had this beautiful upwards channel that it was doing. Indicators were turning down. I was thinking, are we going to see a bounce at the bottom of this channel? And well, I think we still will actually, but it definitely, along with the NASDAQ there, it definitely pooped. So we're seeing some, it's definitely a dump for Bitcoin too. But I think that, yeah, NASDAQ's recovering a little bit quicker. Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell by watching the candles that the liquidity is very thin. So the price is able to move a lot in just like a couple of seconds. I mean, it moves 20, 30 handles.
Well, something I was watching is on Top Step is the size filled. I have it set at 7, and I'm not seeing anything right now.
Well, I'm on 7. I just saw a bunch of 10s, and they just
Oh, okay.
disappeared. All I see right now on 7 is 110.
Wow.
110 size lot.
Let me go down to 5 here. I wonder if I think my refresh maybe is slow or something.
Yeah,
But,
set your refresh rate to fast.
Where is that?
You go over to settings, which is the gear on the left. Click that. And then on the top, it says copy trading, risk settings, charts and data. Click on charts and data. And then it says data update speed. Change it to fast. And then hit save.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Just like this. Whoops. Actually, accidentally stopped sharing. Oh, well. I'll share again here. Present. Share screen. There it is. Okay. All right, so we're on Top Step X, and I clicked on this gear settings, and I changed it from medium to fast, and I just
there we go.
So click fast. I already had it on fast, so that's it.
Perfect.
You can do chart plot alignment right or left. So I like mine on the right. You can do risk settings. You can set a daily personal loss limit of, say, 500 if you want to, so that if you start to lose $500, it will take you out, and then you're done for the day. And when the market opens up at 5 p.m. Central, you can start trading again if you choose to, although I usually don't. I've not had good luck in slow markets trading the NASDAQ just because it's super low volume. There are times when volume comes in, but I never seem to catch it right. And I've told myself I will not trade NASDAQ unless it's fast markets between the New York Open and maybe noon Pacific time.
Mm.
And
Well, I
then
think that, yeah.
that's my rule for myself.
No, I think that's really good because I think that we have to have, as traders, I think it works best if you kind of have like your working hours, because if you don't sort of have working hours, then you're never really on or off. So the nice thing about this is you hit it in the morning at market open, yeah, and if you trade till noon, then you're out of there. I think it's, at least for me, it's always more effective to kind of set working hours for myself when I can.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
not so much about working hours, it's about setting rules for yourself.
yeah.
Because if you like the market to be fast and you like your stuff to happen fast, and you get really, really used to that over a period of many months, and then you start trading slow markets, it's kind of like watching paint dry. And I tend to get a little bit impatient with trades and not exercise the patience that I really should be exercising. So that's why I don't really want to trade slow markets. Now, on Top Step, they have Deanna, who's a really good trader. She does London Open, and she starts a video feed, I think at 1:30. I don't remember if it's 1:30 a.m. Central. I think it is 1:30 at 3:30 Central, 1:30 a.m. Pacific. And she basically trades, other things, not NASDAQ, but she trades gold and I think she trades gasoline futures. So, and she's pretty spot on. So, and then Dakota does, he does slow markets at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central. Does that for about an hour. Sometimes he takes a trade at that time. Sometimes he doesn't. He just talks about strategies, and he is the number one trader with Top Step. So when he talks, I listen. If he says, "Hey, I'm going to go
Yeah.
long," he doesn't call out his limit prices when he's being broadcast because he knows that a lot of people are listening, and they would eat up all that liquidity.
Oh, it's so funny.
Or the powers that be would oppose his entries. So
That makes sense. Yeah. Well, if I was going to be an influencer, I'd want to be that influencer.
yeah, absolutely. I do want to mention, just for clarity's sake, that at least for now, Top Step has stopped doing affiliate program. So I was hoping that we could help a few people and start an affiliate program somehow, but I guess they have enough. So
Yeah.
quite all right.
Yeah, I guess yeah. Wow. Oh my goodness. Whoa.
Big dump.
Damn.
Yep. It's
Whew.
plummeting.
I am sure, plenty of people got stopped out today. Wow.
People who went long up here
Mm-hmm.
just got hurt.
Wrecked. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they didn't bail out, they probably hit their DLL.
Yeah, I didn't quite go that low, but I had to bail out. So I kind of screwed that one up. But that's fine. Every day you get better. So yeah, I'm just not seeing a lot of those size fills come in. I'm just not seeing. It seems like there's is this like a low liquidity day? I'm not seeing.
It is. It's a low liquidity day. The moves are huge because of
Yeah.
liquidity, and the price is just spazzing all over the place, basically. So a dump,
Yeah.
now it's going up, and chop chop. So
Chop
let's be
shop.
careful; it'll chop you up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be really selective about what I take in the market, but it's basically a scalping type day. I mean, where do you even get in this to do a trade that lasts more than a minute?
I
The answer
know.
is you don't. You scalp it,
Yeah.
and choose your
Yeah.
scalps very wisely, because the thing about scalping is there's a fairly high risk versus the reward. So the risk can be great. So I just take, $200 here, $200 there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty soon you've got $1,000 you've showed in your combine or your XFA, and you can just quit, because that's what you want to do. If you have a
Yeah.
good streak and you pretty much say got 5 in a row, 6 in a row scalps, just quit. Because if you
Yeah.
don't quit, then the market will take it back, or at least some of it.
No, it definitely does. It definitely does. Hmm.
You have to have the mental stamina. And that's one of those sneaky things. Before you even know what happened, your mental stamina starts lacking, and you think, oh, I just want to do one more trade. Then you do another trade, and that's your first losing trade of the day. And that's when you should probably stop trading. Either lock
Yeah.
yourself out if you're too impulsive, or have, compulsive obsessive disorder, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Just lock yourself out. There is a lockout button, and on
Oh,
top
wow.
of index, at the very top, you have your balance, your MLL, your RP&L, and your DLL. Just to the right of that, there's a circle with an exclamation point in it. And if you hover over it, it says manual lockout. You click that, you can lock yourself out for the day.
Oh, wow.
And then no matter what you do, you can't trade until the next open.
Oh, wow.
So that can be valuable if you're an impulsive person and prone to overtrading, or think, oh, I got to just make 2 more trades and for an even 10, and then I'll be up 2,000. Well, just lock yourself out. If you're up 1,000,
Yeah.
or if you're up even 500, lock yourself out.
Yeah, be impulsive and, and impulsively lock yourself out. Just make that part of the practice. Mm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm. Well, it's time for me to run. I got to get going to the day job and day activities. You know, I'm gonna schedule. I'll see if you're around Friday. I'm gonna schedule one for Friday, and you know, I'm always trying to get on a little earlier to look at things, but I get on as soon as I can. So I work on making that earlier. But yeah,
Good.
if you're around Friday, I'll send an invite out, and we'll see. I see John's always here lurking. I see him as I'm sure he's probably from blockchain education. He keeps quiet.
Yeah, he was a longtime member.
Yeah, and so we'll get more people in here, and we'll today has been a good one, and I'll I'll also look at like if I have to go, but we have like people on board and we want to keep it going, I'll just I can actually, I've tested it before. I can just leave it running, and I can like go to the office and fire it back up, and then I can just close it when people are done. So you won't get kicked out if there's people, if people are trading, having a good time. So anyway, I'll see you Friday.
Okay, Craig.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.